Some of the feedback we've got was the layout of the reports, the numbering sections was a bit skew with, so I think Martin had a good idea to kind of say tax-free cash is decision 1, decision 2 is these options. So we've introduced that into the report. The income that we had in the original report was you took your tax-free cash and then that remaining was used for income. So what we've done now is we've actually compared it with and without your tax-free cash, so you can see 2 different incomes. We've also introduced a high-level comparison table of the options, so you can kind of just see them all together rather than going through all the pages. And one of the biggest success really of the report is we had some example scenarios for each option, whether it was good or bad to take, depending on what your preferences were. And every person who used the report said to them those example scenarios helped them decide that that was the option for them, which was really good. Also, Louis and his team have also helped us to kind of reduce the amount of time it takes to produce one of these reports. So we were originally 20 to 30 minutes to produce one of these reports. Louis has done some great work on the calculations. We've now got the user can just click a button, it sends an email through to the fit guys to produce a report, and it only takes about 10 minutes to do now. And we also produced a demo of the online prototype, and I think Louis is now going to show you the full version.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Shaun. Yeah, I think for us, we were kind of a bit underwhelmed with what we delivered last sprint, so a bit of soul searching. We really wanted to sort of up the ante this sprint. Another sort of point is the fact that when we initially had to quote for doing the full end-to-end sort of countdown journey, we said it would take over 4 sprints. And at the beginning of this sprint, we'd used up about a sprint and a half, and so we thought, you know what, let's just get it done in 2.5 sprints. So either we've estimated it really poorly, or we've just been working hard. So first of all, we managed to release to live what we call Countdown Lite at the beginning of the sprint, which is what we didn't get done last sprint, which is basically if a customer is within 10 years of their retirement age, they get this tile, the third tile on the right-hand side. And what's in live, actually, this is in our test environment, what's in live, the button actually says something like send me a report or something like that, and that sends an email, as Shaun said, to customer services the fit team, who then can manually pull together the report. But what I'm going to show you now is actually the full self-service, if you like, so it doesn't require the fit team to do any work, which is good. And they, by clicking view options, either at the end of the contributions journey or when they return to the dashboard, having completed contributions, it takes them through to this kind of summary, if you like, of the 3 options available to them when they retire. So the first one is that they can take what's known as a drawdown, where they take a tax-free lump sum, and then they have an income from their pension, state pension, and it kind of gives them a summary of what they're going to get. The second option is they can buy an annuity, and these figures are calculated using rates that we acquire from Iris, which is our third party, and we go and fetch them on a nightly basis, and then use them, store them, and then use them to calculate these figures here. And then they can take a kind of lump sum pot of money. And the final thing is just some sort of static text around contacting us for any more information. We've also re-architected the way we generate reports. So in the past we used to have this mechanism for contributions reports where we had this sort of what's known as a cron job running and so on. And often when you clicked to generate your report, it would take up to like a minute. But we sort of re-architected how that works. As you can see now, it's pretty much instantaneous to generate the PDF. Really, the report's designed from, I think there's a third party. Was it that designed for us? Moorish, yeah. And if you're used to the kind of Soviet Union-looking reports that we publish for like contributions, these are sort of these for me are a lot more colourful. I even enjoyed crafting the HTML to put this together. So you go through, there's a lot of information, a lot of dynamic kind of figures that are passed in, and there's a lot more figures in here than there are on screen, incidentally. A lot more sort of tables, and as Shaun said, we split the different options as you go through, in some colours as well. And it sort of takes you through different things that can be added, and then what an annuity is. And we've managed to get in these kind of whole personas as well, I guess you call them. Is that right? Yeah, personas, sort of.
Yeah, example scenarios, I think.
Yeah, into the report as well, just to give people a picture and more explanation. And then finally we go on to the sort of the second option for them with the figures. It's very interesting. And then the lump sum. I mean, it's kind of replica of what's on screen, but it's obviously just more elaborated, if you like. And that's essentially it. The final piece of the puzzle, should we want to do it, is to provide something we didn't really anticipate at the beginning of the journey, which was providing a kind of interface within Merlin to administer this, but and to see the new cases that have come in. But we've built the kind of underlying API to do that, so whoever picks that work up has got the means to get the data out and render it on screen for client services. So that's pretty much it. Any questions just before I finish?
Yeah. That end bit about sort of being able to do more in the future is really important, because this is the start of a 5-year journey, at the end of which we will point them at, we want to get them into retirement with it, take them into their next product. So, to be able to go back each year and give them something slightly different, and to build that picture a little bit more, and to get them closer and closer to an answer, is going to be really important in the future. This is just step one.
Sure. So where we are with this is that we're sort of deploying this to UAT probably tomorrow morning, so it will hopefully go live sometime end of the week or beginning next week. So
Great.
Thanks very much.